Afternoon all. Thought I'd try and fit in one or just one game before the chaser, which is this fantastic quiz TV program of the chaser metaphor. So Sicilian defence, exciting. Now 1942. In theory, statistically, I should have a good chance. So let's play mainline, exciting stuff. Ooh, I used to play Seibt as black. So this is the Karpov plan, knight d5. Or there's bishop f6, but knight d5. Let's try and play positionally, just for that d5 square. Okay. Actually, I used to be a real Seibt fan. I used to study some of the key positions. Actually, I just like the name of it. It sounded kind of Russian. So what's going on here? I just take here now, and I'll just play for maybe c4 or c3. c3, then the knight can stumble back to the centre to e3. I can try for bishop d3. But knight c2 also might, a4 might be good. Okay, so it's going to play for f5. If he doesn't play f5 here, then there could be trouble ahead. Probably f4 here, because I think taking bishop is good for queen h5. Oh, I'm going to control f5. Oh, there could be trouble ahead. I've had some thoughts about the coming over the board season. I don't know about you guys, but I've had some key thoughts based on last year. Well, a few, which I'd like to share with you. I don't know if I can mention it in this video. I'll try to if I get a chance. But first, let's get the f5 square. So I'll try and get f5, maybe a big juicy knight on f5. But what if queen g5? Is that going to thwart my plans? Queen g5. Okay, my first thought. Okay, queen g5. Okay, better pay attention. So if I take then h4, is that good? f5 suppressed. How does he defend against that? I think I'll do that. I'll welcome the exchange of queens for that h file. Try and peel open that h file. So I still like the position. I think this bishop's bad. If I get the h file, if I get knight f5 in, this is going to be fantastic. In fact, I should have really played. Possibly, I should have played knight f5. I might have blown it because f5 looks as though that might give black some tricks. But if I had played knight f5, that would have been a dream position. Oh well, because knight f5 then h4. Mind you, it's got an advantage this in that g4 I can take, but then f5 for sure. So I think on g4 I just have to play knight f5, then h5, and then h6. Okay, that's not too bad. So I could play knight f5 now. Anyway, and then there's g4. So open up the h file. I think open up the h file first, then I can play g4. But there's tactics like on here and on here, rook f5. So g4, rook h5, dream position for the knights. Yeah, sorry, there were two things. I think this brisk walk thing, which Botvinnik mentioned, one of my only games, one of the hardest leagues, is when I went for a walk actually. I think that's pretty good. Oh dear, it's still tricky now, the way he's played it. If I put the bishop back and then try and castle queenside, am I suppressing counterplay? So yeah, I'm going to try that in one of my leagues in particular, this brisk walk business. If I castle queenside and then rook h7, okay, or okay, if I just play castle queenside here. Now, is this bishop going to be as good? He's the exchange down here. In theory, I'm doing very well. In practice, I don't want this centre to show any dynamism, these centre pawns. Isn't there knight c7 check here anyway? And then knight takes a8 and then knight b6. Is there a crisper way of exploiting that? There's knight f4 to try and win the bishop. But then I'm opening up that bishop. So knight c7 and then bishop takes b7. Actually, there's these guys for rook h7. So bishop takes a7. Bishop takes b7. I'm attacking the rook. And then say rook b8. then no. So if I take the other rook, then bring the knight back. I don't like the dynamism of black. What do I really want to do here? Probably I want to take first, then win on the pawn. Knight d5. I'm not really sure. Let's win that bishop and then just take on a6. Let's not be too greedy about this. If I just take on a6, then I can even take on b5 there. Should I have been greedy? Now he's going to take on a2 if he takes with the king. Oh dear. So he's got a bit of a centre. But rook h7 would have been winning a piece. Okay, it's still probably precarious for black. Why do I feel I've let him squeal out? Oh dear. If I bring the other rook to the 6th, so they're protecting each other anyway. Okay, if I take that rook for a sec. It's still good. It's still good. But I think, did I miss something juicier? I probably did. Okay. So the king's on the light square away from the bishop tactically. That's useful. Okay, the centre's now dynamic. Fantastic. Can I target d5 anyway? Say bishop f3, he plays e4. What about bishop g4? Is that better? I want to play rook h6 here. There's a nasty pin on there for rook e7. This is surely winning material. Ah, rook f6 is winning material. Can I delay that? Say bishop h5 for knight g8. No, if I delay that, if I take on e7, I'll take on f6. Be a piece up. Takes, take on f2, take on e5, take on g2. I don't know, king d3. Oh, I think it's more material, so I'm going to have to go for it. It's 2 pieces for the rook. It's a whole bishop up. Okay, so I'm a whole bishop up. So still looking good. So now, what's the challenge? Even rook takes d5 looks... No, there's no need for rook d5. Let's just b4 here for bishop f3, not to lose b2. So I want to keep abreast on the clock. Actually, rook takes d5 here, just to get the rooks off. A little tactic to simplify. Which he hasn't taken, so march on with the pawns. So b5 coming up. Looks good for b5. I was just taking here. I think that's over. Okay. Is he going to resign here? Nope. No such luck. Alright, okay. No, he resigns here. So yeah, the other thing was bad habits from Blitz chess and especially Bullet. I don't want to carry those to any games in the season, you know, by playing an automatic move when I think I've got 3 moves ahead, like, worked out to save time the clock. There's no point in a longer game. So I think you know, these are my kind of practical tips. So the first one is this brisk walk, maybe 10-15 minutes even, just to get the oxygen going and the endorphins up, relaxation up before the game. So a brisk walk, I think that was a recommendation of Botvinnik. And the second one is not to transfer bad habits, you know, which you're rewarded for in Blitz, but you're punished for in the longer time controls. So those bad habits, you know, like routine captures or checks, or planning like 3 moves ahead. You know, you've got to look at the position and the details, because maybe you don't need 3 moves. You can, you know, the whole thing changes. So those are my 2 tips that I've thought of sharing with you. But let's have a look at this game as well. So I hope many of you will be playing for your local over the board clubs pretty soon. My Barnet AGM is coming out, and Muswell Hill probably soon after. So I'm hoping, yeah, to get some over the board games soon. So what was this anyway? Knight. He played bishop b7. I thought bishop e7 is the usual move. so this looks in sort of I don't know, it looks inferior for black actually. Well, especially in this continuation, it looks as though I'm doing very well here. I've got a good bind on the light squares. H file, it tries to get some dynamism going as anticipated. Okay, I'm a pawn up as well as the exchange up. My rooks are working well as a team there. Possibly a simple move here is bishop d5. No, actually, knight d5, rook a7. There's nothing else to that. No, maybe not. So, what about here? This is looking good to win more material with rook f6. Okay, and then this little trick here to win more material. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. And yeah, bear in mind those two tips, and let me know if you're going to be playing for your local club. So your federation, if you're United States, look at United States Federation. Wherever you are, look for federation on Google to find your local club. And it'll be good for some of you to be playing over the board chess. It's going to start up soon. It starts up for me anyway here. Okay, thanks very much. Comments or questions on YouTube. Cheers.